Welcome to another edition of the Vaal University of Technology Student Academic Development Support and Work Integrated Learning Show, live here at COMETSA Television Network. This is the 16th edition, and we are having a special guest this evening, Professor Tshilenge from the chemical engineering, I'm right, he will clarify that, is one of our faculty work integrated learning coordinators, and we're going to be talking everything WIL from the faculty perspective. I'm joined also by Dr. Edwin Mavelane. As always, as a norm, we always have a guest from the center joining us to accompany our guests. This show is happening on the last Wednesday of the month, with the exception of December month and the January month. So we are proceeding between now and the end of November for this current year. Welcome, and Dr. Mavelane, for being with us. We are really delighted. But let me also welcome Prof. Prof, welcome. I'm looking forward to hearing a lot from you. How are you doing? It's very cold this evening.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir, Mr. Sam Tima. Thank you for your invitation to your studio. Yeah. And my name is John Kabuba, as you can see. I don't know if I have to introduce myself.
Yeah, we'll give you the opportunity to give us a bit of a background. I just wanted people to hear your voice and to settle down and be comfortable that you are here. Dr. Mavelane, from the center's point of view, is everybody doing well, and how have you been since the last event?
Yes, no, thank you very much, and good evening to the viewers as well. Yeah, everyone is doing well. It's just the apology of Dr. Mlezani because she wanted to join. She may join later on, but she was preoccupied with something. So we'll see if she'll be able to join. But all is well on our side. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. I'm glad that we have started to reach out to the faculties now. We've been talking a lot from the center's perspective, but we are really now going to engage the colleagues in the faculties who are actually, at the end of the day, the custodian of these students. And we'll have Prof with us here. It's a delight indeed. Prof, you are welcome. I think we must maybe perhaps start knowing you. I know you come a long way with WIL, but just for the purpose of updating our viewers, what brought you to Vaal University of Technology from where you were?
Okay, thank you. Initially, when I came in South Africa from Congo, I started at the University of Johannesburg. Is where I started as a student, as a master student in 2005. And from then, while I was doing my master's, I was appointed as a lecturer in 2006, a year after. And while I was also doing my master's, I was also helping one of our staff for WIL integrated learning. And after a year, I think it was Dr. Lance Levin. He resigned in 2008, and after then, I took over the leadership of WIL coordinator at the University of Johannesburg. And in 2012, I've moved now from University of Johannesburg to Vaal University until now.
Wow. What was so appealing to you? I mean, leaving a comprehensive university with so many, I guess, degrees, diplomas, to come to the Vaal, to join Vaal University of Technology. There must be something that was very strongly appealing to you to make that move.
Not really. I know that Vaal University also is a big university. I don't know, maybe you try to neglect it, but it's a big university. The movement from University of Johannesburg to Vaal University basically wants us to move and get a good experience and move to the new environment. You know, when I started at University of Johannesburg, I started as a student, and after then I become a lecturer, and I want to change the environment from a student environment not to academic environment. I was feeling better to move from another university where I feel that I'm now a lecturer than at University of Johannesburg there, because remember when I was in University of Johannesburg, I still have to work with my former supervisors that are there, now to become now my colleague, and sometimes they used to treat me as a student, and from then on, sometimes was not feeling well. I said, now let me
you felt like you had not graduated.
yes, and said, now let's move to another university so that I can feel comfortable as a lecturer. Yes.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, we are in the African continent, and African continent is very diverse. And I know that somebody coming from the Congo to South Africa to study in South Africa, it must be a big adjustment. You were studying in French, am I right?
Yes.
And then you came to an English medium.
And moved from French to English, yeah.
Well, how challenging was that?
It was a big challenge, especially the accent, and also to get to use it to the new environment. It was a big problem, but it was easy for us, because you remember in Congo also used to study English from high school, and we had a background. That means when I came here in South Africa, I had already a background, enough background of English. I was able to read, to write, and to understand. The big problem was only about to pronounce some words and my accents. But I was trying to make an effort to learn how to pronounce until when I'm get there.
Yeah. Everything is possible when the will is there, yeah?
Yes.
Wonderful. That's great. And this is it's always beneficial to universities like Vaal University of Technology to attract people that come that long way to come and partner with you. So I'm sure you will agree with me that it's not easy to attract the best.
Yeah, no, it is not easy, but up to so far, I think VUT have done a good job by getting the services of Prof, because he's a very, very good asset. He has done a lot and he continued doing a lot. So yeah, we are happy.
He was telling me that he has been 20 years in WIL. I said, wow, that's amazing. But we'll hear that from him. So, Prof, you are a lecturer first before you become a WIL coordinator, or am I getting it wrong? Is it both at the same level of
luckily, when I start both as a WIL coordinator and as a lecturer. As I said earlier, when I start, I was a postgraduate student, and I was helping that time Dr. Lance Levin was my lecturer, and he asked me to assist as a WIL coordinator. But in that time, I was not fully involved in the interview training. I was just helping to mark some reports, help him to go for plant visits, site visits. And after, so only when he resigned is when now I took over the full responsibility as a WIL coordinator. That means I started as a WIL coordinator, and the same time I was also a lecturer, part-time lecturer at University of Johannesburg.
Wow, so that is the full package. So take us through a day in your life as a lecturer and WIL coordinator. When you get into your office, what happens?
As a WIL coordinator, the WIL coordinator is a process. As a WIL coordinator, the first thing we have to visit the company to make sure that the company are good, are suitable for our students. What you call it, we are visiting the company first. And after visiting the company, and also the companies that are known as a good company, like Sasol, it's no need to go there to visit if it's really a good company. It's known already. And after that now, we are working closely with the Department of Cooperative Education, and those are in charge of placing the students. Now, after placing the students, then now the students has to register. And for them to register, they have to submit a registration form. And that form must be sent to me have to go through the form to confirm that it is a good company, to confirm that the supervisor is a good supervisor. Remember that the supervisor must have a high qualification as students. And you have to check everything there. And after that, now I can approve. After approving, now the student can register. Now, after student register, within 3 months, the student has to submit a progress report. From the progress report, now you are going to the progress report and see if everything the student is doing is related to our requirements. Remember, our students going for interview training, there's always a learner guide, and the student must go through the learner guide and see the tasks, the required tasks as a student. And after 3 months, after submitting the progress report, then now we can go for site visits. You go to site visits to monitor the students, to assess the students, to make sure that everything the student is doing is related to our requirement. And after that, you have to also to discuss with the supervisor or the mentor, and also get some inquire about the students, and also talk about the student if a student is comfortable and what he's doing is related to what is required. And after the minimum of 6 months, now the student now can submit now the final report. After then, now he can apply for graduation. Those are basically the process of WIL in our department.
Beautiful. For somebody that is hearing about the WIL and the WIL coordination for the first time, what will you say are the high-level objectives of having students engaged in an initiative like this?
As a WIL coordinator, the purpose or our job description is to monitor the students. That means you monitor the student from the first day he registers until when he submits the final report. That we need to
the visiting is to monitor them, to go through the learner guide. But what will you say we want to achieve with them being exposed to this program? What other than them, it being part of their studies, but what are the other objectives that you feel the WIL is actually achieving in the development and learning journey of the students?
Okay, as a WIL, the student must, that means this what is called we enhance the employability. That means you are trying to assist the student so that they can be able to get the employment. And as this WIL is the bridge between the academic learning and work practicals. That means they now need to allow the student to get that bridge, to link between the academic learning and the work practical, and also to allow the student also to make a personal development. That means for development thinking, and also to allow the student to think wisely when they decide when to for the job perspective. When you get there now, sometimes you find out that the place you are working is not suitable for what is your objectives. For example, a student wanted to work in a mining company, but he found himself at Sasol. Sasol is not a mining company, and want to take a decision final. Yes, to stay at Sasol because I want to one day to be working in the mining company, or if to decide to remain at Sasol because it's an opportunity. Those are the things we are trying to assist the students so that they can be able to make a good decisions for their life.
Beautiful. And you spoke about the learner guide. Who is responsible for putting together that guide? Is it a combination, a collaboration between the university and the industry, or is it something that is prescribed by the curriculum of the course itself? Or just take us through that. What is it entailing?
Okay, the learner guide basically is being designed by the WIL coordinator in collaboration of the program. That means the program fixed by the department, by the university. Each university have a mission and a vision. From the mission and the vision of the university and the program offered by the university, from there now we need now to design a learner guide. And also remember, this always twice per year, advice committee. Then now you are inviting the industry to the university.
Yes.
You are meeting them and discuss what they need, what they can to feel, so that the students can be able to be successful in the industry. And from those information put together, and we're designing now during that.
How receptive are the industries to this kind of a structured placement of them? Because it must be a lot of work from their side, being told by the university that here's the student, you can have them, they must learn, but they must learn 1, 2, 3 as per guide. How receptive are they, especially if they have not had the opportunity to have those kind of discussion and influence your curriculum? Or is it a must that they must first have participated in the structuring of it?
It's not a must. The purpose of in-service training is just a gap. That is not a must. And in our learner guide, we realize that the tasks, the students is not obliged to complete all the tasks. It depends of one industry to another industry. We found that some industries, they have a project. The student must go to the project. And found other industries, there's no project. That means it's only a routine work. The student must be exposed to the routine work. And also the student have to participate some meetings for the production and other meetings. But in that case, now we cannot say that because the student has to submit a project, and if it's on the project, that means the student is failing off to change the student from one company to another company. No. The problem is dependent. You are flexible to the industry, to the companies. That means you are trying to make sure that our students are exposed. What is important is just to fill the gap between the academic learning and the practical industry. That's what is very important. When coming out to the details, then now you are flexible. You are not really strict on that.
I can sense the passion in you as you talk about this role of WIL coordinator. I've come across in some instances where lecturers will rather just want to lecture. So this is almost like a calling of some sort, that you're over and about lecturing, you're fallen in love with being a WIL coordinator. And you're saying to me, for you is both. But what, and that must be challenging. I assume you must still write journals. You must still publish. And then, of course, you have to lecture to deliver, to cover what is this to be covered. How do you go about balancing all these demands and still be as cheerful as you are?
I know that is too much. It's too much work. The problem is I'm used. Let me say that I'm used to this work. I'm used to work hard. This one starts, as I said, it starts from the first day when I start with a lecture and a WIL. That means I start doing both jobs as a lecturer and a WIL coordinator. And from there now, I'm start to be used. If I'm not teaching, if I'm not doing in-service training, it looks like something is missing on me. It's why I always try to combine. And also, sometimes I found that it become too much, but I try to request my head of department to assist me, especially when come out for the WIL visits. Then I cannot manage to visit 100 students or 50 students per semester or per year. And I've requested my head of department to assist me with one of my colleagues for WIL visits. But when come now to monitor, marking the reports, that one for me is easier. That I cannot take a problem.
Yeah. Am I right though to say that it is really not just a job? It is something that must speak to you over and above it being a job. If we're looking for another WIL coordinator to get the passionate WIL coordinator like you, there must be certain attributes that we must look for. What are those in the person?
Can you come again?
if we are looking for somebody to do the same work as you do,
Yes.
who's equally qualified academically like you, and we just want to focus on the personality attributes, what will those attributes be? Characteristics of a person to be able to do this demanding kind of work. What will you say are the requirements?
I think for me, the person must be trained. You need to love the job. You need to love the job. To be a lecturer is different as a WIL coordinator. As a lecturer after a class venue, sometimes you are free. That means the students are not under your responsibility. But when you're a WIL coordinator, your students are under responsibility. When the students are at industry, that means you need to be expecting any call anytime. When a student, for example, when the behavior, they call you. We had meetings with Edwin Mabilane twice. That means to attend to the student. That means the student behavior in the industry. See, now, those are the things as a WIL coordinator, we have to be aware and ready to those kind of call and meetings. That make difference as a lecturer. As a lecturer, after teaching, the behavior of the student after the class, the venue is not your business. But when for WIL, when you monitor student, it's not only for plan to visit, that we monitor student even from far, from our office. That we're expecting any call from the mentor from this part. Remember when we submit the Lenagat, you're putting our details there. And also, my student also have my cell phone. If there's any problem, it's not only for the student, also sometimes also for the mentor of the company. Sometimes we find that the students that are abusing them. That means instead of treating them as a student, now they're treating them as a cheap labor. And it's now become a problem. You know that the students, when they're doing safe training in the industry, they're there to learn. They're not there to work. Those are the things employers have to know. That means the students, they're there to learn. And when they're going to learn, they cannot give the students much work. They have to push them to learn, not to work, not to produce for them. It's to learn. Those are the things as a WIL coordinator you have to know and be able to understand and to speak to the industry.
It sounds like they need to have a replica of yourself sitting at the company to guard against those things from happening. Then, Mr. Mavelan, I mean, the way Prof is explaining this, it has to be a company that is really bought into this idea of the fact that the students are there to learn. This is to build a bridge between them and the industry. They need to see the industry at its best work, and they have to be doing meaningful stuff to be able to see some of the things that they might have covered. So now, and this brings me to when you visit the companies and you find that, hey man, my counterpart this side is actually not doing what I expected him to do. How do you start engaging a Prof? And you, Mr. Mavelani, perhaps maybe that's why you probably will also go with Prof, because there might be things that might need a different level of intervention. But I just want to hear from the Prof side. Here you are, you have got the best students sitting in this company, but you realize that it's not even the problem of the company. The counterpart doesn't emit the right kind of energy or doesn't create the right kind of environment. We are going to get the boxes ticked, but we might not get a quality WIL graduate. How do you go about now addressing those type of challenges?
Normally, in those kind of situation, we just stop. We have to stop the students doing self-training in the company. We did it once, and we found that the students, what is doing is not what is the requirement according to our policy, according to our program. And we stop. We decided just to stop. Say no, we have to stop, and we found another company for the students. That is, we have to stop. So you cannot leave the student being treated badly and abuse. We have to stop because our students, our kids, our children, you have to take care of them. That is our responsibility as a WIL coordinator. Yeah, that means is in the case. Just sometimes I used to call Edwin to accompany me to those kind of companies, and we end up with making decisions.
Yeah, but am I right to say that sometimes it might not even be the company, but it's just the person that is assigned to look at students that is overwhelmed and challenged by the demands, and maybe then the company may hear you out and say, help us to meet you halfway. It's not that we are intentionally abusing the student. We might not just be not having a colleague that is able to do what you're expecting.
Yeah, no, but there's always a collaboration between us and the industry. If it is a problem, always find a solution. If, for example, if you found that the student in the department, that the specific department is a problem, you can request if it's possible to move to another department. It's always possible. For example, found that some industries, big companies like Sasol, we have a different department. It's easy to move from one department to another department. It's very easy.
I see. So there will be a conversation before taking the decision to remove the student from a company.
Yes, always a meeting. There's always a meeting. They always the colleagues have said that we were expecting a call anytime when the students are in the industry. And when there's a problem, the problem is sometimes there's also students. I can give to us one example. They called us, I think it was in 2018. It was at Impala Platinum. The student was involved in the strike. And they call us, say, no, look, the students, instead of not to stay aside, he was involved in the strike and he was in front on the strike there. He said, no, you cannot, it's not acceptable. You cannot accept it. You are students. You are not part of the union. You are here to learn.
You are not yet an employee. You still
cannot the students said, support. You cannot support them. You're not to support. You know to support. They're not your colleagues.
Those are the blind spots, because some environments are so inviting that they can forget and think that they are already part of. But it's a very good point you are raising. It's a very good case study, so that people understand that you are not an employee. Yes, you can have sympathy.
You're not employee. You're not there to support them. They're not your colleagues.
Yeah, you can't take action. Yeah, so this is one of the issues I would like us to address, because often, Mr. Mavelani, when we talk about this partnership with the industry and us as a university, we're always making assumptions that there are no problems. This is a typical kind of a situation that you may have. And I guess when you do review and reflection of your successes, this could be one of the metrics that you need to look at. What kind of behavior we are inculcating, what kind of conduct we want, and all those type of things. So that this brings me to a question to say, when you're sitting alone, going through your scorecard that the university has given you, or maybe even the student learner guide, what are the other things that you quietly yourself wants to evaluate, to check, and give yourself feedback to say, I'm doing good work? The unwritten matrices.
I don't know how to answer to that question. The learner guide is just to guide the student and us as well. But there are many parameters also involved when the students are doing interview training, and I can say, for example, it's also presentations. I did mention that sometimes we find that at the end of the training, there's a presentation. And when it's a presentation, they invite us to come there and to evaluate the students during the presentation. And those are the things also we are trying to include it in the evaluations, because at the end of the day, you have to evaluate the students. You need to ask the students everything. It includes also those kind of the presentation. Those are the things, and also Also they invite us sometimes for the interview, where the students now have to get the permanent positions. They say no, the student now is a good student, and you want to keep him, and also they call you, and sometimes you have to participate and to make another decision as a WIL coordinator to see if really a student deserves to get a permanent job to the specific company.
I'm sure you have had the then and now so vividly standing out in some of your students. Give us some of the examples of, the students then when they entered the WIL and when they leave. What kind of transformation do they undergo? And what is evident normally in terms of their change?
I think the learning, and also getting the feedback from the supervisors and from the mentors, and sometimes the fun that's they're happy with the student, and most of students they're good, and we realize sometimes that the students in class they're not really good, but when we go to the industry, we're getting the good feedback. Sometimes I'm asking how. But that's and I feel that you are doing a great job. Sometimes you are trying to neglect our students, but they're good students. Because when they go to outside of the industry, we could always get the good testimony about our students. And most of the students that end up by being taking a permanent position there. Yeah. And
I can understand that for them. When the professor is trying to tell you some things that you can't see, and then you go to your industry, you see those things happening. It must be very, very motivational. The prof was telling me the truth. Here are these things that he was talking about. They are being mixed to produce products. So learning by doing is I guess is what makes
also
you. And I'm being told that actually they do the WIL in the last semester. Am I right?
Yes, last semester, yes. Before graduation.
So they already go there with a lot of knowledge given to them.
Yes. That's the purpose of WIL. That means after the student have got all the knowledge, now they have to apply all the knowledge gained at university and apply them at industry. That's basically the purpose of the WIL. That is a bridge between academic and the industry.
Yeah, it's a very, 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 very good. So let's talk from the university perspective and the sector and the industry. And it is an obvious question I'm asking, but I just want to hear it from you being answered. Over and above us graduating the students, what impact do you think initiatives like this are making in growing the industry? I'm asking an obvious question, but I want you to articulate it in a way that it magnify what I'm trying to bring across here. I know that we do contribute a lot through education to the industry, but with initiative like this, to what extent do you see us magnifying that impact of producing future leaders in the industry? I make it purposely, almost answering myself, but I want to hear from you articulating it as a professor, so that people out there must not think that these are nice to have. Mr. Mabelane, they are running around visiting industries, they're having a great job. I guess it's more than that, Prof. Transformation.
Yes. Basically, you are trying to that is impact. That means you are trying to make impact on the associates. The student after completing the WIL, that means the in-service training, and now they're able now to apply what they've learned, not only at school, also in the industry, and also to apply them in the associates, and also to be able to make a good decisions to apply some skills, some industrial and academic skills to the associates. That also I can say to respond to that question.
In other ways, we are not just leaving it to chances to say people will graduate and apply for a job and find a job. If they are lucky, they find a job. We are saying we are influencing that transition and that settling down by the students in the industry. And I guess that must be a selling value proposition to the industry, because you're probably doing recruitment for them long in advance before the students even graduate. Is that how they see it?
Yes.
Because you said some majority of them they are recruiting these students. I
Yes,
can
yes.
imagine if you recruit a student who spends 6 months in your company, there are certain questions you are going to take off the interview list. You're not going to ask the certain things, which normally you will go for when you are interviewing a stranger.
Yeah. Basically, you're trying to produce for them. Yeah, let me say that. For the
Yeah.
And also let me also alert something. We found also sometimes the students, after our program is you have a national diploma, and after then the students have to come for advanced diploma.
Yes.
Okay, now we realize that before the student move from diploma to advanced diploma, they have to graduate. Okay, now for them to graduate after they have to go through the intensive training. And most of students after intensive training, they get a permanent job. Now become a problem for them to continue for advanced diploma.
Yeah.
We had a situation with the old diploma when you have BTech, and we realized that most of students, after completing the intensive training, they got a permanent job and they forget about BTech. Now, when we first out the BTech, they realized that no, still 1 year to complete to us to get a degree. Now, the BTech was first out. Now starts now running down, up and down, looking for to register, while the old diploma was facing out. Those are the situations end up with this kind of situation. That means when the students get employment, they forget about the continuing the studies.
And I guess that's where mentorship comes in, to encourage them not to stop, because if they already do very well with just a basic qualification, it means that they've got the potential to go further. And I guess those are unintended consequences that will need mentorship to advise them, because it's a question of, that competition where they make you guess how much money is in the box. If they have 20,000 rand in the box, they start at 5,000 rand. They say, do you want to take 5,000 rand? You say, no, I want more. Then they said, okay, let's put 5,000 more. Now it's 10,000 rand. Do you want to take 10,000 rand? Now, remember, if you continue and there's no longer money, you lose all the money that you accumulated. I love that competition because it's a guesswork, but they try to show how hungry you are. So we must create the hunger in the students to want to study further. But now they want to get a job now and buy whatever they need to buy. But I think that comes with the terrain, and I think is a real coaching and mentoring issue that needs to be brought in. Thank you for raising that, because we cannot ignore the fact that we need the highest level of qualifications, especially in the type of a faculty you come with. We didn't even ask you to talk about your faculty and the degrees, the type of degrees that you are doing the WIL coordination for. Do you want to touch on that? By the way, the student, a proud student of Prof. Kabuga here, Sibusi, Kumkani, says, I'm a proud student of Prof. There you are. That's the impact we're talking about, Prof. And that's the whole idea, that they need to know that you are not just doing it because you are a lecturer. This is a calling for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then there is Shuks Ntala. He says that Prof. Kabuba did my will. I did my will under his coordination. busy trying to impress with a master's proposal. Do you know Shooks Nkala?
Yes, my former student, yes.
Wow, that's beautiful. This is wonderful to hear, Prof. Yeah, I just wanted you to touch on the kind of degrees that you are doing the WIL coordination for, because there must be students out there that want to come and be part of this proud institution that you are working with. You're working for. So, what degrees will they be exposed to if they come to your faculty?
In our faculty, you are offering masters. That means after diploma, you have an advanced diploma. And after advanced diploma, you have 1 year for postgraduate diploma. And after postgraduate diploma, we have masters, 2 years maximum, and with PhD. And done.
But is it what section of the engineering is that? What kind of engineering degrees are those?
It's a chemical. That is a chemical engineering. That's in chemical. From chemical, you can move from a diploma, advanced diploma, postgraduate diploma, masters to PhD.
Yeah. So you're dealing with the chemical industry sector, basically, right?
Yes, you're chemical. Yes, you're in the chemical. Yeah.
But the student that is at high school wanting to come and study this degree, what kind of jobs and companies they could end up working at? I know sometimes we talk about sectors and industries, we're confusing people, they don't know what you're talking about. But if you mention the kind of companies they can work for, the kind of products that their skill will be needed, just an example.
Chemical engineering, that means is a huge area. As a chemical engineering, that define a chemical. Chemical engineering is a process of converting the raw material to the final product. A raw material can be anything. Like a wood is a raw material, and you can convert a wood to a paper. A paper is a product. Now, as a chemical engineer, you can work in the different companies. Many companies where everywhere they're processing the raw material to make a product. Even for wastewater treatment, that means you're processing water as a raw water, you process it and make a clean water or potable water. That means a process. That means as a chemical engineer, we can work in many companies. I can name those companies. You can work at Sasol. That way they're making polymers, they're making petroleum. We can work at Sasol. The Sasol, when you have to process the coal, as a chemical engineer, we have to process the coal. We can work at Sasol for wastewater treatment. Remember, at Sasol, you are boiling water, and that water must be a pure water. That means as a chemical engineer, you needed to treat that water to make sure that the water, the generating the steam is a pure water to avoid any corrosion in the boil. As a chemical engineer, you can work as ArcelorMittal, where they're making steel. As a chemical engineer, must work there, where you have to convert the iron ore to the iron or steel, must be there. And also when they're processing the coal, remember they're using a coal to process the iron. That means as a chemical engineer can work there. A chemical engineer can work even in pharmaceutical company. Pharmaceutical companies also they're processing to make those chemicals. Some chemicals are coming from the leaves, some coming from the roof. That means you're processing to make those pills, those chemicals there. Is a chemical engineer. That means a chemical engineer, you are everywhere, even in the metallurgical companies, because they're processing the ore to make a metal. That means everywhere where they're processing as a chemical, you are welcome, and your place there.
And what subject then must I take in high school to be able to be accepted into this kind of line of studies?
At high school, I think the requirement you needed to be good in maths, because when you're processing, everything is about maths, because you have to apply. Math is a tool. You have to apply maths to solve those kind of problem. As a chemical engineer, you are solving engineering problem, and to solve the problem, you need a mathematics. That mathematical is a tool to solve those kind of problems. That you need must be good in maths. And not take a literal math, we must take a pure math.
Pure math.
Yes.
Higher standard. We used to have a higher standard.
And also
it must be pure mathematics, not life.
Yes. So that must be able to solve problems. Yeah.
Yeah. You continue. Yes, you continue receiving some compliments here, which I like so much. Skumbuzo Mtetwa says, I'm very proud of my promoter. He's a brilliant and he knows his story.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's a wonderful thing to hear the impact you made on people. And at the same time, we want to inform and inspire others to come and experience what others have experienced. So, you know, the universities of technology, like Vaal University of Technology or all other universities, they are a community. You don't exist in isolation, and there's cross-university collaboration. But I always ask this question because I would want us to make impact beyond just our institutions. If the universities are listening now, what do you think they can come and learn from us, the way we go about WIL at Vaal University of Technology? I know there's collaboration, there's meeting they meet, but maybe there are some things that Mr. Mavelan and his team, when they meet at the conferences, they forget to tell people about the university. Let's hear it from the professor himself. What is so unique about Vaal University of Technology in as far as it manages the WIL program?
Okay, let me say that Vaal now, currently, I can say it's the best. It's the best when it comes now to the WIL. What I'm saying is the best when it comes to WIL. Because when I go to the plant visits, we found that most of the students there are from Vaal University. But if you find some places where the students from other universities, we realize that they're pretty more future students than other universities. I was a bit shocked. I said, why is only future students? As I said earlier, my students are not my students. In the class, they're not performing well.
Yeah.
They're failing. But when it comes now to the industry, I'm hearing other stories. I'm saying, what's the problem there? It's only that I realized that no, us we are good. That means you are not wasting our time teaching them. That means you are making a good student. While you had sometimes to neglect them when they're failing in the test and other things. That means somehow you have a good student. And also the other problem is universities like UJ. Now that they're not moving WIL, now they've moved now from diploma to BEng-Tech. Then now is a 3-year program. That means it's a 3-year program. There's no in-service training anymore. And now when you compare that to other universities like TUT, I can see that you are the best. Let me say that.
Yeah.
I know that
and I guess this is meant to motivate them, not to say you will never catch up. I mean, as I was saying, that there are forums where the universities get together and share expertise. And when benchmarking is very helpful. That's why I say that what is it that we are doing that others can learn? And now you are saying it, and you make me curious to say, they might not be doing well in the university in terms of in their classes, in terms of results. But there must be something that the environment at Vaal prepares them to be this agile and be able to cope with the demands of the world of work. And maybe a little bit of internal saving there, and that they might be learned to say, maybe there's something about our environment that transformed them so much that when they get to the industry, they do well, because performance in the industry is influenced by many other factors. But yeah, so that continues to be work in progress, and I hope we are inviting other universities to say, what are you good at?
Okay, maybe if you want to add something, it's also about motivation. Our students are well motivated. As I said, we are working closely with the Department of Cooperative Education, and we found that students, as soon as they're completing the studies, they're submitting their CVs to the Department of Cooperative Education, and they're making everything or the possibility to place the students as soon as possible, as soon as they're
mm,
completing. Those are the things that give you motivation. And
yeah,
besides that is always the fundings. Most of students are being funded. Yes.
yeah, yeah,
And the students, some companies use not to take our students because of the funding. But now, most of our students now have funded.
yeah. So the program that the cooperative education does together with the CETAs to find funding,
Yes,
that is the
students.
motivation.
Yes, those are the motivation fund that the students are well motivated. They funded. They got everything on time, and they end up now to even to work hard. You know, when to work hard, sometimes you need motivations. When you motivate a person, it's end up by working hard. But if there's no motivation, it's when now there's a problem. Yeah,
Wow.
that is our secret.
Yeah, that's a big factor, you know. Is it intrinsic, Mavelan, the motivation philosophy or theory? Is it an intrinsic motivation? So there's something that comes from inside. You build a fire inside them, and they want to go all out to succeed. And that at the end of the day, the industry wants that. It's no use to have a student with high marks that cannot actually do the work because they are not motivated. And I think you brought something that is very crucial here as a feedback to Mavelan and the team at Cooperative Education. That is a factor perhaps that contributes to that success of this. And then, of course, when they come back to graduate, Prof, then you're graduating a complete human being, not just a student that has got a theory. And so I guess in terms of sharing the value proposition, we could be looking beyond these other metrics to say there's transformation that happens in our students, there is motivation, there is holistic personal development that may not help them in terms of academics results, but in terms of them becoming the ultimate out product that goes into the market from VUT, that definitely cannot be ignored. And you Prof, you were right to pick it up to say it must be sitting in the Cooperative Education Department. Why is it so that in the class they don't get all the marks that Prof, all the questions that Prof brings up, but when Prof goes to the industry, he finds them performing? That's my belief.
No, maybe Prof, they have high standards for their students, and when the students get out there, they get to realize, okay, it's much easier. Probably they are judging them harshly. As an academics, they have set high standards in order to prepare them. But yes, I agree with Prof. When the students are able to visualize themselves, when they have a clear path to say, I'm doing this from here, there's this next step waiting for me, I'm not going to struggle. That on its own serves as a motivation, as Prof has said. It's more like a matriculant student. When they're in matric, they are more likely to work hard and get good grades or results because somehow they are sure that they'll be able to further their studies. But if there's no hope, they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, then they might be depleted and not put much effort. So, but this motivation Prof is talking about, it is not only from cooperative education because we are working with them. We don't have access to the students. They are the ones as the department who make the students available. So that cooperation where we work together with the academic department to say, here are the students, how do we synchronize our activities so that they get to benefit the students. But yes, it's just about working together. Thank you very much, Prof. And yes.
It's a collective. It's the effort of the collective. And I think the students must be maturing very fast in an environment like that. And then perhaps we can rule out also the relationships that you have with the industry. I don't think every year I don't think majority of the people of the companies that you are working with, you are only working with them from now. They must have been there for years. It's a home away from home for the VUT students, I guess, in the industry.
Yeah, no, it is. Just like Prof has said, that those personal relationships, they go a long way. when they are able to call him even on the weekend and he's able to pick up the call and provide the solution, it gives the industry the comfort that they are not on their own. They do have the support from the institution. And whenever he invites them, they are available. Whenever they invite him, he's available. So it goes a long way to build that kind of relationship. And some of the people, they are his former students, they are his alumni, like the people who are commenting here. Some of them, then they are able to come back to VUT to say, Prof, you've assisted me. How can I assist? Do you have students that I can take under my wing? That network where they have opportunities and they're able to share with Prof and the academic department to say, this is the little we can give back to our institution. It also goes a long way.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, beautiful. I have another student of the Prof here. Prof, your students are up to cheer you here, and I know they're not just saying it because they love you. It's because of the impact you make. Yes, they love you, but it's also because of the impact you have made in their lives. I have Peza Andrew here. It says, Prof Kabuba Bafwetu, the best teacher. Bafwetu means the brothers. Yeah. Prof, the best teacher.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. I did say to you at the beginning that this can only be your calling. I mean, this is a demanding work, but they have just demonstrated by the remarks they are making here that this is a professor that is doing something that he loves so much, and he really they're appreciating the impact you have made in their lives. So that's wonderful. That's what, Prof. I think we're gonna call you back. I mean, it's not enough. I have so many questions I wanted to ask, but especially in terms of when you are out there in the industry, trying to demonstrate to the industry that these students, they might be away from campus, but they are still your students. That's why you visit them. It used to be easy, I guess, to go quite a number of times back to the industry when you used to have full year in service. Now you only have 6 months. What has been the challenges of as a result of shortening the time the students spend in the companies?
Okay, it's a big challenge, and even now still a big challenge. Most of the companies want the student to remain in the industry for 1 year. And we had the discussions, and last time we had the meeting, we've decided this. The minimum is 6 months. That means the student, when he's going for in-service training, there must be an agreement between the student, the university, and the company. That means when you sign a contract, if it's 6 months, it's 6 months. If it's 1 year, it's 1 year. That means you cannot short it. And we realized that most of the students, they're going for in-service training for 6 months. For example, they can sign a contract of a year. After 6 months, they know that after 6 months, they have to compete. They come to submit the reports and say, now I'm done 6 months, and after that I can graduate. And after that, they go back again to the industry. And that was to say, now that was not right. If the student sign a contract of a year, the student must remain in the industry for a year until when he competes. After that is when he can be able to submit the final report. If the contract is for a year, if submitted after 6 months or less than a year, we are not consider your report. That is the problem. That means you are not. We are trying to. The problem is to short it, but in reality, the student can go above 6 months.
I see. And from the Cooperative Education Department, what has been the challenges of a shortened version of the in-service?
Yeah, as Prof has said, I think when we were undergoing this transformation, we may not have consulted widely on the industry because some of these opportunities, as Prof says, the 12 months one, it is mostly based on the funding models because some of the funding agencies, they still have the 12 months funding kind of policies where they said, no, it's for 12 months. And then the companies themselves, there's a point where they would say, by the time the students complete that minimum of 6 months, some of them we've just introduced them to the basics, the safety, the training, getting to understand the culture of the company. We are not at the stage where we would have given them a project as yet, of which project I think Prof will come in here. Is one of the important assessment tool that they use to get to gauge the student if whether the student has already or has indeed learned. So the challenge has been that, but we are able to navigate it. Hence, we are speaking about the minimum of 6 months with the maximum of 12 months, because once they register their training, that registration is going to last for 12 months. That has been one of the challenges, to say, what if I register, but I go for 12 months? What will happen to my registration? But that has been sorted. So it's just the challenge where we are educating the companies of the transformation of the qualification, also indicating to the students the benefits of staying there, because at the end of the day, the companies themselves, they also train to absorb, meaning they look at Prof. Kabuba's guidelines to say what is it that the student must be exposed to, but the company itself, it has all its own guidelines where they must combine the two, so that by the time they say the student is competent, they, as the company themselves, they are able to can absorb the student. Hence, he spoke about his students mostly being absorbed. That is because they satisfied both the institution and the company requirement as far as the level of competence. So balancing the two, it may the 6 months may be a challenge to balance both what the university needs and what the company is trying to prepare for its future workforce. But yes, we will get there. Thank you very much.
Beautiful, beautiful indeed. Yeah, it looks like it's something that is under your microscope, so you will manage it from incident to incident. I guess the familiarity with the new transformed approach will sit in ultimately. Prof, we can talk forever. Unfortunately, we don't have that much time. That's why I want to say later in the year, or maybe early next year, we need to bring you back, because there's just so much that the viewers can learn from your experience. Let's bring it to end. I hope, Prof, we have made you to reflect a bit on this journey that you have been on of work integrated learning from University of Johannesburg now to VUT, and then the evidence is there from your students, your graduates. How has this conversation enriched your understanding of your own role? Because I don't think you get to talk about your job, your work that often, like so intense as we did in this conversation. What memories have we brought up, or what emotions have we evoked by making you reflect so intensely around your WIL coordinator role?
I didn't get you quickly your question.
I was just saying that this conversation that we have had with you now,
yes,
what thoughts is it bringing into your mind as you reflect on what you are doing as a WIL coordinator?
let me say that I'm enjoying my work as a WIL coordinator, and I'm trying to also to improve, to make sure that I'm doing correctly my work, and also I invite other colleagues from other departments to train me to work closely with the Department of Cooperative Education, so that we can assist our students to graduate. Yeah, I say that, yes. And also I'm trying also to invite the matriculate students, if they want to get a job, you must come to UT. For UT, you are there to assist them from S1 to get into to get the placements, and after placement, there's the opportunity to get a job easily. Yeah, it's what I
absolutely. If I was still a student in grade 10, I will be filling my application form straight away to come and join the prof. What is your message to your wonderful graduates that they've been commenting here on the conversation? What do you say to them?
Okay, I'll just to thank them for those great comments, and if they still have to do postgraduate student, they're welcome
to come back
to complete their studies. I always say that as you don't have your PhD, that means your studies are incomplete. That means for you to say that you've completed your studies, must have your PhD.
I'm sure they are listening, and they're going to take the challenge.
Yes, so that they can also continue the studies to the PhD level.
Thank you so much, Prof. It's been wonderful talking to you. I really, really thank you on behalf of our viewers and Dr. Mavelane as well. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been wonderful. I could have carried on until the second hour, but this is where it ends. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation and supporting the cooperative education team in bringing the message across to the stakeholders out there, students, companies that are really supporting this initiative, the sponsors from the CETAs to all other sponsors. This is a great work, and you've seen it by the impact, by the comments from the students who have been impacted upon by the work of the professor and many other at the Vaal University of Technology and many other universities of technologies out there. This is something bigger than just one institution. This is a transformation of the world of work for our country and the continent. And for that, we are grateful. Thank you so much. This was edition number 16 of the Vaal University of Technology Student Academic Development Support and Work Integrated Learning. This is the show that comes to you on the last Wednesday of every month, with the exception of the month of December and January. Please join us next month as we bring you other colleagues to also come and inspire you with the wonderful work that they are doing at the Vaal University of Technology. Thank you. My name is Sam Zimmer. This was COMETSA Television Network, our video streaming platform in partnership with the Vaal University of Technology's Cooperative Education Department. Until we meet again, goodbye. You stay in the studio, colleagues, as I disconnect.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.